Hello and welcome to my first episode of how to do it yourself video. Today I'll be teaching you how to make a dolly for your camera and tripod. And those things cost hundreds of dollars, and I'm going to show you how you can do it for around 40 bucks using some things that you can buy at Home Depot along with some household tools, and of course an item or two that you either have laying around your house or can just go to the thrifty store and pick up. You want to make sure that you get your two boards lined up as good as you can, close to perfect, and I'm hoping that when you had them cut that there wasn't, that you got them cut pretty close to the exact lengths for the rectangle so that they kind of line up nice and good. That way you don't have to do too much sanding or sawing to make it look good and even when you're finishing up, which we're not going to do here. We're just going to get the base of the project done. So what I want to do next, once I have them nice and lined up the way that I think they should be on all four sides, I want to mark out some spots where I'm going to place my 3/4 inch screws, carpenter screws, into the wood to kind of just secure the two boards together and make a nice, thick, sturdy platform for our dolly. And just going to place my first screw, hold it into place. So once we've finished drilling all the way around, you see now we have a nice single board that will be the base of our dolly. The first thing we want to do, and of course I've already done it, is I want to take a drill bit that is just slightly larger than the size of the bolt that I decided to use. And you're just going to drill straight through. So once you have your holes drilled through, as I have, you're going to have your two holes for your wheels, and you're also going to have a hole in the center that'll just be used to secure your bracket onto the wood. And in addition, I decided to take advantage when I built this of the holes that were already pre-drilled into mine, to use them for support screws on each side. So we have that where we want it. The next thing we want to do is we actually want to get this drilled into place. Alright, so we're ready to fasten our brackets to our board. So the easiest way to do this is to actually measure out where you want them to be at. Now when I say where you want them to be at, I mean the best spot for the brackets from the edge. And so what I did is I measured from my edge 4.5 inches inside, and then from the 4-foot side I measured 2 inches inside, and I'm going to do the same thing on each corner, so that way I know that my brackets are lined up. Now you definitely want to measure your board to make sure on each end when you're doing that you're actually cut the right length. That way you're not kind of making a bend. But I think you're pretty safe if you've got a nice rectangle and just measuring from each end and placing your bracket where you want it. Once you place your bracket, I like to do my starter screws while I'm holding it in place. So you're going to need 4 screws for your starter screws. In which I'm not going to this for this demo, but you can put in your middle screw right down the middle that will hold it down in place. I'm not going to, just because I have a limited amount of time to show you this. So I'm going to move to the next thing, and putting your wheels together, which is, or putting your dolly together, which is putting the wheels on. And for that, we're going to need our 8 wheels from our roller blades or roller skates, whichever you chose to use, as well as our 8 bolts and nuts that fit securely in there to where I'm not getting any shaking or moving around. Now I have my bolts into my wheel, and I've already got my holes pre-drilled on my L bracket on where I'm going to place it. So I could just feed my wheel in through there and get rid of the gloves for this one, because I'm going to have to put my nut on the inside of that. And then this is why I told you it's important to have 2 pair of pliers, because since you're using pretty much a foundation that can spin around within your ball joints, it'll be tough to tighten it just from one side. So I'm going to tighten both sides of this wheel, but I don't want to go too tight with it, because you want to be able, you don't want to restrict the spinning or cause a squeaking in the wheel as it's turning, which you want to go tight enough to where you're not getting shaking or movement in the wheel. That's a little bit too loose. I might go a little bit tighter with it just to make sure. And once I have that wheel on, I'm good to go. Time to start moving to the second wheel. So through the magic of TV, I will be right back with my finished bottom. So we're back, and I've pretty much got all of my 4 wheels done. And now that all 4 of my wheels are done, I'm going to move to the next step. So we pretty much have a finished bottom to our dolly, which consisted of the rollerblade wheels, the L brackets screwed into 2 3x4 boards, and put together with some nuts and bolts, and we're good to go on the bottom. So the next step is to flip it over, because this dolly needs a handle. So for this portion of the video, we're going to need essentially a black steel pipe. And what I did is I bought 1 black steel pipe, but then I had my black steel pipe cut into 3 pieces. Depending upon the height that you want it, it's definitely up to you. And a T-joint, which is already on my bar, because it kind of rusted together, so I can't get it off. But essentially what you're going to do is just, with your T-joint, screw it into your tall handle. Then you could just take your 2 pieces of handlebar, and now I've got my handlebar for my dolly. Now I've got to get it fixed to the dolly, so that's where this buddy comes in. Again, 1/2 inch. I'm just going to screw it on there just like that. With the top threaded area, just thread it right in there. I'm going to try to get it nice and tight. So, got my handlebars, got my dolly pretty much done here. Alright, so this is a look at how the camera will move across your dolly to get that nice smooth rolling shot that you need course, my subject matter isn't nothing but junk in my garage.